Syria. It was supposed to be just a simple drive home, but a stranger came to Zainal and said, "Hi bro." And the story starts from there, which took a turn for the weird. So without further ado, can we please put our hands together and welcome on stage Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, Zainal Bostaman.
It was a breezy, cool Wednesday night. And three of us, myself, and for this purpose of the story, a friend who is named Ching and Jason, was walking towards our car. Now as we got closer, we could see there was a figure standing near my car. He was wearing a grey t-shirt, three-quarter pants, and one of those fanny pack bag on his waist. And then from afar, he looked at me, and his face oozes familiarity. Look at me smiling, and the closer we got, and then he shouted out, "Hey bro!" Now you know how if you're going to the mall, or you're going to a function, and someone says that to you and you have no idea who that person is. First of all, there's confusion. And then there's guilt. Maybe I do know him, but I forgot. And then, as any self-respecting person would do, is to fake it. Hey bro! So, he explained to me that he just got dropped off from the bus from Bandar. And his brother was supposed to pick him up at 10 o'clock. It's now close to midnight. And if any one of us were going towards Banaga area, please drop him off. I said, I'm going that side. I looked back, saw Ching and Jason, and their eyes screamed fear. If it could speak, it would say, "Don't do it now. It's past midnight. Your mama never teach you, ga?" So I looked at them, looked at him, and he said, "Bro, can you give me a lift, bro?" And I said, "Get in there!" But yes, why did I say yes? I have a really warm and fuzzy heart. It's not the answer. It was because he said, "Bro." And for the last couple of years, I've been conditioned by a certain man who we would call by a name that rhymes with Braun Brasidi Narcis. And every time he said, "Bro," I say, "Sure can, no problem for you, sure." So he said, "Bro, can I get a lift, bro?" I said, "Sure, sure. I mean, get in." After buckling up and then driving away, leaving Ching and Jason on the side of the road, going. 1 minute passed, nothing, just complete silence. So I turned to him and asked, "So, what were you doing in Bandar?" And he said, "I wasn't in Bandar." Maybe I heard wrong. So you said your brother was going to pick you up? No. I don't have a brother. My brain is thinking, ghost. Obviously, if I was in my workplace, I'm an engineer by profession, and logical thinking says that cannot be. But it's 12 o'clock. In my car, alone, with a guy who just told me that he didn't tell me what he told me just now. So obviously my first thought was ghost. So I went a bit. And before I could say something else, he said, "I like cars. But I've never driven in one since the accident." respond. He said, it was a bad. Imagine this car, and I flew out across that road. Quite far, right? And I didn't respond because I'm scared. I'm also trying to concentrate and not swerve. So I just kept quiet. And he said, I said, quite far, right? Now I'm thinking, this is it. This is my last night. Children's down the years will be telling the story of how this idiot said yes. Just because someone said, bro. And then he said, I was in a coma a long time. And I never used to look like this. Here. So, here's my IC. And I looked at it, like, this one looked like Chinese. Oh, wrong IC. Why does it have two ICs? A different person. I'm trying, now my mind is verging towards maybe he's not a ghost. Maybe he's just crazy. And then there's another voice in my head saying that, did you really prefer crazy? Listen. So you know where I live, right? I said, no. Kapau Penaga. Are you sure you're from here, ka? Yeah. Then, send me back lah. I go, okay. He is crazy. Because a ghost would have a bit more. You want to tell me dark corner? So I drove very slowly. Usually this ride would take me around 10 minutes. But tonight, I'm driving extra slow. Now I see the irony. I want to get there fast. But I'm scared that he'll do something crazy. So that's why I'm driving very slow. And all the time I'm thinking, what if he grabs the wheel? Can I swerve into the ditch? It is a 5-year-old car. Maybe it's time for me to get another car. I punch him. And all this time, he's talking as well, telling me about his story. He's like, are you listening or not? Yes. Coma. And then I reached his home. And then he stayed in his car. This is my car, for a couple of minutes. I think it was just 5-7 minutes, but in my head at that point, it's been here for hours. And then finally he turned to me and said, it's really hard for a guy who just had a coma to get a job. And I'm like, oh, I know where this conversation is going. He wants money. Take my wallet. And he said, so I'm trying to look for a job. Here's my CV. He handed it to me. It was a bus receipt. And he said, call me if you can find a job. Okay, bro. And he left. And then on the way back home, I was thinking, did that actually happen? Or am I imagining it? Has Toastmaster really got into me? And I'm so stressed out that I'm starting to imagine these things. It was only when I reached home that Ching texted me, are you okay? Oh, okay, that's good. And the following meeting, Jason came up to me and said, what happened after? I'm like, oh, I did not imagine that. It actually happened. There's not much moral to this story. It's a very weird story. But if I were to really squeeze one, the moral would have been, don't say yes every time people call you bro. Not everyone is Bron Brasileños.